Malawian boy.
Okay, let's cut the music. I had a few technical issues I wanted to fix. So, I was going to play the music. We played minutes of the music. It's going to be funny when people are playing this. It's going to be 5 minutes of music. I wasn't actually late. I was actually here, but I was trying to fix a few things. I'm pretty sure you can hear me. Carl, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, my bad. I wasn't actually late, but I also wrote on Twitter. If somebody follows me on Twitter, I did say we're gonna be 15 minutes late as I was driving. Then I came in and started fixing the computer and everything. But we have the internet. Today is not a day to start talking about lateness. Adam, just go buy my wheelbarrow that you owe me for years. So big up Sophia. Sophia, big up to Sophia. Very good channel, guys. She does everything, even though she's a United fan. She does every single stream. Big up to her. Ends TV, also big up to you. Go subscribe to Ends TV and Sophia. Bobby K, big up to you. Go subscribe to Bobby K, guys. Um, I'm gonna make sure I don't miss his show. Make sure you don't miss his show. We have so much to discuss in this show, Carl. Obviously, yesterday me and Carl were on cloud 9, but today we come down a bit and we have so much to talk about. I am very gassed for this one, Carl. I am very excited for this particular one. This particular one is going to be amazing.
Yeah, man. I'm still watching the game. I'm still taking notes, man. There's so much to talk about. So much to talk about. It's incredible. I work. I'm taking a break now. I'm watching. I'm just to the first 30 minutes now. Yeah, man. It's everything we talked about and we predicted in the preview show came to pass.
We
Um,
did, we did, we did. In all fairness, we did, and we did. As always, we tell people we always make sure we study something before we talk about it. So we did. We're not blowing our own horns, but we did talk about most of this stuff. If you see, but the title of this, Carl, for me is Man City versus Madrid, the aftermath. So we're talking about the aftermath, things that you saw, Carl. We missed when we were too excited yesterday. We missed a few things, but I say stay calm. It's not over yet, Carl. Am I wrong to say that?
oh, we still have one. We still have three more big games to play.
Three more big games to play, and so we have to stay calm. I've seen some City fans. I've already said throwing insults to Inter. I think, I think we have to be careful. We have to be humble. Even the players said it's not over yet. Let me just welcome people. Abdul says, "When is the show starting?" It started now. Abdul, sorry for that. Abdul, I think 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I think that's when I started already. We knew Pep had a meal for us, but that looked like a buffet. You're right about that. Bernardo was sensational. Bernardo. We're going to talk about Bernardo in a few minutes. Hello, Tally says, Boo Patrick is late. Yeah, shame on you, Patrick. Yeah, shame on me. Job not done. First final on Sunday. That's true. 110% focus. I keep saying it. I am sure Pep and the players think exactly that way. That's true. That is true. That is true. Chelsea United Inter. Come on, City. Come on, City. Indeed, with the shark emojis. This team is sensational. Yeah, it's sensational, as everybody says. It's so good. It's so good. Tapia, big up to you, man. Hello, guys. How you doing, Blue Heart? Hope you are enjoying yourself. Tapua, you're my boy, but somebody had to come out of that tie, isn't it, Carl? Somebody had to come out of that tie. And Tapua, we love you. And I think we owe you something, Tapua. I think we promised you something before. Silva is underrated. Don't want to be overcritical, but I don't think we were that great offensively last night. Our final
No,
ball in the final third was so
you're
sloppy at times.
smoking. You're drink.
Ah, come on, Daniel. You're always positive. Don't throw that spanner in the works.
Let me answer this. Let me answer this. Okay, Daniel, you're smoking crack, brother. Let's be
Calm
clear.
down.
Okay? Let me tell you something, right? I'm watching this game again. I watched it 3 times now. This is my third time watching it, right? This is the best performance we've had in donkey years. I don't know. This is probably our best ever performance. If you if you think that we did, we were perfect offensively, perfection. The only difference was Courtois against Haaland. That was it. Offensively, Jack, Bernardo, Rodri, Stones, perfect. Perfect. Because without the perfect performance, you don't beat Madrid.
You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You
Don't.
don't. You
So
don't. You don't.
stop this over underplaying what they've done. No, 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 no. It's okay to celebrate. It's okay to say, yeah. These guys cooked last night. It's okay. Don't underplay and try to be Mr. Humble Pie. Nah, Daniel, not this time. Offensively, perfect perfection. Perfect. That first half was the game. Second half, first couple of minutes, yeah, okay, we struggled a little bit, got into the rhythm, but the first 45 minutes, there's no English team that's played as good as that. None. The only team I remember playing as good as that was Pep's Barcelona.
Yeah, and that was amazing. Okay, let's go to the comments. I keep watching the highlights, still find it all unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I also find it unbelievable. But now, finally, the show must start, Carl.
Yeah.
I have so much to talk with you, Carl. I was excited yesterday. I had smoke. Both of us had smoke for a lot of people. You and me, I know at the end of the season, we're keeping smoke for Alvarez. I'm still keeping smoke for Gomez, Carl, even though people make fun of me about Gomez. You see how excited he was. He's a City fan. I love somebody as a City fan because I think they can put 110%. But I said, finally, as The Rock used to say, me and Carl are here to discuss things. So, Carl, I'm going to start here, Carl. Carl, I watched a video today. Somebody is making a case for this man to be the player of the season. And Carl, when I sit down and think about it, I cannot say no.
Which man?
This man has gone underrated. This man hasn't got the praises. Carl,
Let me break this down for you, right? So the key to if we win the treble, if we win the Premier League, the Champions League, and the FA Cup, if we do that, right? This guy here has been the key to everything. Because this guy, and it didn't start with Stone. It started with Rico Lewis.
It did. As Pep said, somebody had to show the guys that this is possible.
It was Rico Lewis who demonstrated this system where you play this 6-6 inverted fullback next to Rodri that gave us the balance that we needed to stop the counterattacks. Ingenious. Now, Rico Lewis's problem is that he's young. And so on the defensive side of the table, he's not able to stop them from bullying him because he's young and he's small. Now, come John Stones, 6'2", 6'3", tall guy, strong on the ball, a defender,
very good on the ball,
and is able to play that role on the ball. That's why now we're getting joy because he can play that role and not be bullied. But Rico Lewis starts it, John Stones completes it. This guy here, look, it's so good, that Klopp actually now changes to Pep's system, where Klopp is now inverting Trent in the John Stones role in the middle of the field to create the box. That's how good this guy has been. So yeah, for me, this guy, I chose Rodri as my player of the season because I think that without Rodri, we will collapse. Without Haaland,
that's a fair shout. That is a fair shout.
Without Haaland, Alvarez can score. We can see that, right? Without De Bruyne up, Gundogan is there, Bernardo is there. But without Rodri, who are you going to play? Phillips? So that was my argument for that. But carry on.
Nah, man, this guy has been incredible. Carl, I have studied this guy, even the seasons that people underrate him. Carl, this particular player, Carl, I'm telling you, as much as City fans, because we don't hype our players, sometimes which it goes against us because of the humble behavior. But Carl, this player is world class. This is what we call a world class player. Let me describe to people. A world class player is a player that can step in any team. John Stones can step in any team right now, Carl. I don't think anybody's saying no. You know what I mean? And a world class player is where you're able to play, like he's able to play right back. Don't forget, this was our right back, and then he was stuck it in. Do you remember? We won against Sporting. We beat Sporting because of John Stones. John Stones, Carl, I have never seen, because somebody was saying a lot of people were shining because Bernardo took the shine. John Stones was in midfield, Carl, bossing Toni Kroos, who's a natural midfielder, Modric, who's a natural midfielder, and Valverde. John Stones, Carl, had a run in midfield. I don't know if you see this other beautiful run. If he wanted, he could have continued going into the box, but he passed. But that's a midfielder. And Carl, when he's been pressured, he's press resistant, he turns, receives the ball. His positioning is top notch. I'm telling you, I was impressed, Carl. Watch the game and concentrate and focus on John Stones. I remember we did a review once, and you told me to focus on John Stones and Kyle Walker. When Kyle Walker was trying to play first nine, John Stones was going into midfield. Carl, this is the thing, Carl. The thing is, people don't get it. This guy has the job. You have to be intelligent to do this. I used to play football, and I don't think if they gave me all this to do, I could have played what I wanted to get stuck to what I do. But he has to stay into the defense. He has to sit in defense, Carl. He has to know when to step into midfield. When he's in midfield, he has to know when to position himself. When he sees Rodri out of position, he has to know when to protect the back. Can you get it? The same guy has to know when to go and overload the left or the right. He was found everywhere. If you see his hit map, it's incredible. Guys, John Stones is a diamond, and I understand why Pep had faith in this guy, even regardless the fact that he had a very bad season where City fans and some fans wanted him gone. I was one of them. I was like, I said, I think his time is up. And I was like, maybe he should just go somewhere and do a better life. But this guy said, I'm going to stay and fight. And I'm telling you, Carl, if I can see a game where Rodri is injured and John Stones is your CDM, are you going to flinch an eye? I don't think so.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, let's go back to Pep's first season, Leicester away, when John 4-2, when we lost 4-2, when John Stones makes that mistake. Remember that video, that clip, to where he is right now, battling the midfield, balling, like playing like a midfielder. I mean, so courageous on the ball. Nobody got the ball from him. Nobody got the ball from him. He made one bad pass all game.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to play in the centre back position where you have all the ball in front of you. It's another thing to play in midfield where you don't know who's behind you. If you notice what John was doing when he was playing, he's always checking his head. And I teach kids this, right? You're always checking your head, checking, to see who's around, to receive the ball, to give the ball. So you're not under pressure. It's incredible. It's incredible. And one thing I noticed in this game, what Pep talks about, if you're playing that number 6 role as a player, you don't run, you stay. If you notice, watch the game again. Whenever one of our number 6s, whenever somebody has the ball, either Rodri or Stones are just standing. They're standing in position. They're not running up and down. They're waiting for the ball to come. They have the option for the other player to give the ball to. It's really weird. Everyone's got to watch it again. Watch it again. Whenever you see maybe Bernardo on the ball, you see Stones just standing there, waiting for the option in case Bernardo's in trouble. It's really weird. But it's what Pep talks about. The CDM must not be running around the whole place. They must be standing. They must be still. They must be calm to be able to receive the ball, get out of pressure, make the next pass, and move the ball, switch the play from left to right. Rodri was switching the play from left to right. He was a pivot. And Stones would be the second pivot, which means that Rodri has less work to do and he has more energy to play. When we talk about the fact that, probably say Rodri must be tired. He's the only one playing up and down, up and down. Not really, because with Stones, they play double 6. So the workload is shared. Are you following me, Patrick? Which is why he's not as tired as he could be, because the workload is shared amongst them. Right? Now, I do this with my own kids, right? I play the double 6 because I want my workload to be shared amongst the 2 6s. One has one half, the other one has the other half. As opposed to having one number 6 in a back 4-3-3, where the number 6 is going up and down like Fernandinho used to do, and they get tired and get injured.
Yeah. I think that was one of our weaknesses against Liverpool because they used to wait for him to get out of position. So, guys, that's Captain John Stones. His fellow Jamaican man, Veta, just walked in. Stones is part Jamaican. So let's welcome Veta Games, man. Welcome, my brother. How you doing, man? As I said, the title of this is Man City versus Madrid, the aftermath. But it also says stay calm. It's not over yet. But anyway, let's go to the comments. Mr. Carl, people say they love your voice when you're reading comments. So I'm going to be doing the comments and you can read them. It looks like people don't love my voice for reading the comments. I hate all of you guys in the comments. Anyway, let's keep going here. So we were here. That's where we were stuck.
Yeah, that's
No, let's move on from that one. Yeah.
Blue House says,
this one.
Twisted says, Carlo had a brain fart. No, Twisted. Carlo didn't have a brain fart. Carlo was overrun. Even in the first leg. He was schooled. Let's be honest. Even in the first leg, he was schooled now. Even last year, he was schooled. They were just lucky. And we made stupid mistakes.
Somebody said that from ESPN. He said, I told you guys, their luck is going to run out. And somebody's going to expose them with football. It only takes, he says, moments only take you far. Anyway.
Next one. Lauren says, hey, what's up, Pat? And pitch points. We're good. Thank you for the shout out. Keyman says, big up Patrick and Carl in the chat. Yep. Thank you for that. Lauren says, hey, I'll ask for a special and best meal today. Just sit down and rewatch the game. I tell you what, I made some special Nigerian meal.
Speak on it. Tell us about this meal.
You know what they call eba and egusi? With goat meat, chicken, shrimp.
This
And I
guy,
had a very cold bottle of Guinness Blonde beer to
Jesus,
go
man,
with it.
this
Freezing, cold. And I put, in Nigeria, when you want to eat proper meal, you eat with your hands. No fucking.
Same as me. Do you know what I've noticed? I keep eating salad and chicken, right? But when I'm eating it with a fork, I know it's so better. What I'm doing these days, I'm just using my hands and taking the salad, and I feel better. I put the salad in the chicken, I chip the chicken in the salad, and it's just better.
Put it
So
all
anyway,
together.
let's read some of these comments because there's other comments before we pass the mic to better.
Next comment, Blue House says, absolutely, still got 3 finals to go, but enjoyed the results, guys. The football was out of this world. Blue Heart, I'm doing fine on cloud 9. I'm on cloud 9 with you, brother, chilling right next to you. Tapiwa says, hey, haha, yeah, big up, Chief. Like I said back, even after the group stage, it was going to be a tough ask to defend our own crown again. Inter versus City should be a good final. Yep. FIFA said Blue Heart. Hey, Lawrence says I had got to go to the City dressing room to beg Walker. He forgot Vinny in his back pocket. Man, let's talk about that.
No, I'm gonna talk about. Don't worry, I have everything ready.
Bernardo gave our defense nightmares. Yes, Tapiwa, I give you nightmares in those half spaces. He did. He actually overloaded. He overloaded Camavinga. Camavinga was, this is so Madrid's strength, Patrick and Vader, is the left side, right? That's a strength.
It is, yeah.
Camavinga and Vinicius Jr. City attacked Madrid's strength. Overload that strong side so you can nullify their strengths. Masterclass from Guardiola again. But Tapiwa, you have 14. Let's get our own first one now. Relax.
Yeah. Let us have. So on this topic, I had to go to the dressing room to beg Walker to forget. He forgot Vinny in his pocket. So Veta, my brother. Yesterday we didn't have you on the review. I remember you and me were jumping up and down in other things. I left football terms. I just said, you know what? I don't want to start answering FFP charges or some people were talking about oil money. I was like, you know what? Let me just go celebrate with Carl. But anyway, before you talk about Walker, who the man looks good at 32. I'm the same age as this man, but look how good this man looks. Anyway, I can't even run as fast as this man. Anyway, so look, how did you think of the game yourself? And then you can touch on Walker, and then Carl will also talk about Walker.
Yeah. Man, we got a chance to connect before the game, and it was about trust these players, trust these managers, and know that we're ready for this game. So when the game kicked off, and you know me, it's become a habit now. When the game kicks off, I want to see what does the opposing team do. Does their forward or 9 run to get possession, or do they fall back? Look at that kickoff. Real Madrid, to a man, just conceded and fell back and watched how City were going to do their build-up. It was just a matter of us getting those goals in, because those attempts were there. And I was messaging early within the group chat saying, got to stay aggressive. We got to get one. We got to get one. So when we were playing, it was a weird calmness, but it was a calmness of confidence, because it's like I can see that the players are up for it. The few maybe one-on-ones or the few matchups with regards to build-up or losing possession and seeing if we were sound was right there. And this man you have on screen is one of the best examples of it, because there weren't many where we were out of possession, but when we weren't, every man was like this, ready to react. And Walker, you knew Walker was up for that battle. He's like, Vinicius, I respect you, because the way those two embraced after the game, the respect is there. But it's like, I know you're nice. I know what you're capable of. I have confidence in myself as well. And the press conference,
he said dog eat dog.
Dog eat dog. And he also talked about speed, because I think based off of the science, Haaland has the fastest time, I think, recorded in the Champions League, or maybe it's the league. I'm not too sure which one, but his ground speed, it's up there. And Walker calmly said, he's quick, but I back myself.
Yeah, actually, it's very just like, so they on the show yesterday, one of the, I think BT Sports or ESPN, they talked about Walker's calculated speed this season at 37.5k.
Okay.
So faster than Erling Haaland.
Yeah. And Haaland is up there too, like
35 or 36 points.
36 something. So the pace is there, but this is where And again, I'm picking my moments. Today is a day to celebrate. Last night was a night to celebrate. Today's a day to celebrate. I got my hat on. I was walking around the neighborhood, got my jersey. They know what happened last night. But it's a day to celebrate because these players, to a man, were ready for the occasion because they have their vision for the final. They were ready for the moment to play the semifinal, but they also know we want to get to this final again. And Walker was absolutely amazing. I know we're going to talk about the other players. And the one thing I'm going to dismiss with any of these rivals, Walker is a great defender, not just because of his speed. You could be lazy and say Vinicius is dangerous because of his speed. No, it's an element of his game that he exploits and he applies to his opponents. Same goes for Walker. Walker gets in positions, he reads the game, and yes, he has the speed that matches excellently against a Vinicius. So don't let any rival say that he's only good because of his speed. No, he's a very, very good defender. There's a reason why he was so well touted at Tottenham and why he's been one of Pep's key guys and maybe Pep's key signing for the longevity that Pep's done.
Yeah, that is true. So we have a lot of players to talk about, so I'm going to skip this. Look, Walker, what he did to Vinicius, I've never seen before. There was a point in time Vinicius was just walking on the pitch because he had nothing else. And as Veta says, stop listening to this speed thing. Kyle Walker-Peters has got speed. A lot of people have got speed in the league as fullbacks. It's the way he times you. Do you see? He teases you. He lets you go. And he says he likes to let you think. You saw what he does? He says, I like to make people think they've beaten me for me to catch them. And he even explained how he marked Vinicius when Vinicius went 1v1. He said you give him a bit of a nudge and then you put your body in front of him, show him the power, hold him back, which he did. Like taking kind of from a baby, Rio Ferdinand said, guys, Walker at 32, he's answered his manager. He said he wanted to prove Pep Guardiola wrong, not in a bad way, just to prove that I'm still here, manager. I'm still here. Now, I'm going to move on to a bunch of players so that we can discuss them one after the other. We're going to start with Rodri, but we also talk about Silva. We'll talk about everybody on this screen so that we can be... So we'll start with Rodri, starting from the screen. Carl, you were talking about Rodri. You said without him, the system falls to pieces.
Rodri is just immense. I mean, there's just no other words I can use. I mean, this guy is the best CDM in world football. There's no one else. This idea of Casemiro is just... Nobody should talk about that guy. Guy that had 3 red cards in 5 games. I mean, nobody should bring Casemiro's name up to compare to Rodri. Nobody, even my United fans, know the truth that there's nobody like him. There's nobody, and Liverpool, Fabinho's not. This guy's clear. It's his.
I think Fabinho lied about his age because the man has finished at the age of 28.
No, Enzo Fernandez is a kid compared to this guy. And who else is there again? Is it Højbjerg or there's no one? There's just no one. I can't think of any club. I mean, Paris, is it Bayern Munich? Who? Busquets is old and retired right now. It's Frankie de Jong. I mean, who? This guy he's the best. He's the best.
There's a comment here. If we beat Chelsea, Gomez Phillips should start the last 2 games. I would do that. I would throw.
Okay.
I wish Maximo Perón was not at that under 21 World Cup. Maximo Perón could have cooked right now, and maybe we could have proved a few people. I was humble enough and showed Madrid respect before yesterday's game, but after what I saw in that first half, no way Inter beat us. Pep and the boys know we are winning it. Pep and the boys are speaking. Pep said he told the City players, if you have to be thinking that you're playing with Inter in the final. Did you hear what he said? He says you have to be thinking that we're gonna be the ones. And did you see him, Pep, saying, okay, so now let's talk about Pep. Did you see Pep saying, no, we're gonna talk about Bernardo Pep in a few minutes, but did you see Pep telling Rio Ferdinand that the text I sent you that we're gonna beat Madrid, we beat Madrid. I told you. He's like, I told you so. I told you so. Did you see that? And then Rio Ferdinand said, Pep sent me a text when I asked him, when I said good luck with the game tonight, he said, we're going to beat Madrid. So Pep was confident. He studied them and knew these frauds were going to beat them. What about this man, Bernardo Veta? This guy took it personal. When people were chanting in the comments, we want Mahrez instead of Bernardo. When the pundits were saying put Mahrez, Bernardo took it as a personal challenge and retired Kamavinga at the age of 20.
You know what? Young Camavinga, he'll be back. I mean, to go up against a player like Bernardo Silva, can't take any fault. He learned the lesson from one of the best. But what Bernardo did, he did to Alphonso Davies, my fellow countryman. He showed him how clever of a player he is. He showed Real Madrid how intelligent of a player he is, being in those pockets. That second goal, for him to be in the space and he didn't just head the ball into the net.
He had to loop it.
He looped it and he aimed it into that corner to make it difficult. So the skill that he possesses is absolutely amazing. And again, we know these players are hearing. We know there's whispers, whether it's people in their camp, whether it's them with burners. We know that they hear all this or that they read the comments. And you want a player to actually positively react to this because it's not going anywhere. Social media is not going anywhere. These players have grown up with it now. But to have that mental reaction, that mental strength, man, I praise this guy. And you know that he's dealing with things, maybe in his personal life with some of the decisions or some of the possible decisions that he's been weighing, whether it's remaining here or not. He's always put in a professional performance.
Do you guys remember Vader? There was a City video, City digital thing they did about 6 months ago where they were playing head tennis.
Yes.
Remember that? I think Bernardo won that game. It was Bernardo versus Jack.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. I think it was head tennis or that goal comes from things like that.
Yes, 100%. Because it's a skill and it's just precision. It's
muscle
repetition.
Memory, yeah.
You've seen it. You've seen it. So I praise him. Praise him for his skill set. And he also did something similar with the Manchester City YouTube video where they were talking about best first touch, and Riyad and KDB himself. I forget who else was also listed in there, but his skill is amazing. And I want to praise the mentality though. That's what I really want to praise, because all the whispers, and we know this as fans, we get triggered. Oh, if you don't want to stay here, then go. But he's here until he is no longer here. And he's put in a shift. I'm going to continue to praise him for it. I'm going to thank him whenever it is that happens to be time to go. I'm going to thank him because he puts in a Manchester City player performance on the regular. And I don't fault him, man. I was yelling his name yesterday. He was absolutely amazing.
This is actually a good statement, not just Stones, Patrick. Every single Man City player is underrated. That is true, and we don't care. We love it that way. Nico be light years beyond his age next season. You're right about that, Vita. You're right about that. John Stones has been great, no doubt. But for me, Rodri is at another level. If I was being honest, we've got a team full of class. I think the result last night just nailed that, which is good. We just have to bring the trophy so that people start hearing what we're doing here. Talk about Edison. I'm sick of people disrespecting him. Don't worry, man. We aim to please. True City fan and Veta Games and Pitch Point, we aim to please. Now, Carl, here is the mic. Preach for these Edison haters and educate them on what Edison has done to us, even in the Premier League and the Champions League, saved us from goals that are almost going in.
There are some shameless curry goats who are out there on social media talking smack. Even with the evidence they saw yesterday, they're still lambasting this guy. I'll mention their names. Right? One begins with an M, one begins with a Q. That's all I would say. They know themselves. They're my brothers. We know each other. We have our debates. But seriously, you guys got to respect what this guy did yesterday. Remember when the double save he made, where he goes down on his bum, and he blocks a shot from Benzema with his feet in the air.
Then stands up and runs back in.
Runs back again. It means business. Last year really hurt these people. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, right? The catalyst to this, look, if Cancelo was in that back line, we lose that game yesterday. Because he's a cancer. He creates division and doesn't do his job. He will stick his leg out and not fight. Look at Akanji yesterday. But Edison back there gives everybody calm. He saved like 3 shots yesterday on goal. I mean, what can we say? People talk about, oh, Allison and this, Allison that. What Edison can do with the ball, Allison cannot do. The way Edison can ping the ball 50 yards on your head. Look at Courtois. Courtois yesterday struggled to build out. He couldn't build out. He couldn't go long. He kept losing the ball. He'll kick the ball to Vinicius, it'll go short. He kick it to Benzema, it'll go long. He couldn't. Yes, he can shortstop, but then he concedes 4 goals. So, it could have been 7 if not for that. But this guy here, we need to respect this guy here. This whole debate around
he's a world-class keeper.
World-class. The Edison I saw yesterday was the Eddie that we saw at Benfica. The Eddie that Pep saw when Bayern played Benfica in the Champions League. And it's like, who is this kid? I like it. He's the guy. He's a shot stopper. He's a build-up player. He becomes the extra player in possession.
Yeah,
we are building up the play. He becomes an outfield player because of the way he can pass the ball. Look, nobody pressed him. Benzema and Valverde, and they couldn't press him. You press him at your rim because you press him, he's just going to play around you.
You know what? To that point, Carl, it's very unique, and it gets dismissed because they don't see it. But more often than not, when the ball gets played to a keeper, other teams, there's still a second pass needed from the keeper to someone else to spark a play, right? Like when the ball gets played to a keeper, it's not, oh, the attack can still be on, because most of those other teams will play it to a defender or play it to their defensive mid. It's not a pass back to the keeper that may spark an attack. But when you play us, you can't fall asleep, because the pass back to Ederson could be a play that's played forward. So whoever wants to minimize and say that Ederson's not that guy, that could be your choice. You may not want him. You may not rate him. But for our club, for our system, just like we mentioned with those other names, he's key. He's key. I had to tweet, man. I had to say, man, it looks like Ederson's hands have caught up with his feet in that game against Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's done that for the last 11 games. 11 games. He's been incredible. It's been incredible, man. This guy is world class.
I saw that. That was so cool, by the way. That was so cool. I saw that.
What he did is incredible. It is incredible, guys. There's a lot of comments. I do apologize. There's a lot of comments.
Let me read them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. McLovin says, the moment I saw Benzema scared of 50 Rodri, I crowned him. Next slide. Blue House says, Kyle Walker, another class performance when he took the ball off Vinny Jr. in our penalty area. Even Vinny had to smile at Kyle's strength and pace. And that play was massive. And he goes back, he gets the ball, and they just casually kind of builds the play again, and they build the play out. This team is something else, man. Lauren says, you can never go wrong with Eba and Egusi soup. Never, my brother. I'm Cameroon, but we all eat from the same. Yes, we all do that. Dana says, Vader, since you started studying fluid UCL, we play much better in UCL. Keep studying, brother. Keep studying. Adam, Carlo is going to open up. Yes, I'm going to open up a restaurant. I'm going to chop pepper soup tonight. McLovin says, soon we will reminisce about that night in Istanbul. We got to reminisce. One game at a time, but let's keep praying. Walker is only terrible against low box. 100% correct. That's a fact right there. Bernardo turns up for the big ones. He does. Super Silver says, Bernardo is our legend and our savior. Hey, Bernardo, you don't have to go anywhere, brother. Win the UCL with this club. Become a legend. Become an immortal with this club. Huh? Stefano says, come on, Patrick, brother. Let's go. Edison is high level, by the way. Underrated. I agree. Stefano, I've changed my agenda from hate on City. Oh, he's an LFC fan. Okay. The chance is to break United and Arsenal hearts. Yes, Stefano. Listen, Stefano, see, massive respect to Liverpool. Vito knows my opinion on Liverpool. You know my opinion, right?
Yeah,
right?
You rate them.
Right?
You rate
them highly. I rate them. They're the only team who can give us problems in this league. And thank God that this season, they're not in the UCL and they're having a bad season. Because if they didn't, we'd have more trouble.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Imagine if we had to play Liverpool, instead of Arsenal to win the league last time. And they're how many points ahead? That's with 4 games to go. That could be a problem. So thank God they're not here right now. But they'll be back next season. Brian KO2 says, City play total football, back 3-4 dynamic. Yeah. So talking about the 3-box-3, Daniel says, if we win the UCL this season, Vader will go from student to teacher. No, he goes to professor. He gets a PhD. Super Bernardo is an upgraded version of David Silva. Well, yeah, in some ways, maybe.
Yeah, different.
Yeah.
So they're different.
Yeah, throw in spanners. Let's leave the Silvas and the Ayas alone. Now, Carl, your Nigerian brother, with his haircut. So this man, I think I threw a few bullets on him the 2 games once, but this guy looks like he's more comfortable when he's a 4-back than a center back.
You know the funny question now, Patrick, is this guy at left back better than Ake?
It's a tough debate because as much as Ake is good, this guy is looking too comfortable with player like Veta. This guy is looking too comfortable with ballers, and he's keeping them quiet in a way where they're giving up and trying to go to Kyle Walker. So for you people to leave you alone and go to Kyle Walker, Rodrigo was spinning. Akanji stood there watching him and just nicked the ball off him, dribbled him, and passed it.
Yeah.
Veta, the debate is hard. Let me ask one better for Veta before you go. Veta, I'm going to ask you this. Is this guy looking better than Ake? And if Ake comes back, would you play Ake in the final or Akanji?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Why you have to ask me that right now, man?
That's what I've been thinking in my head. I was like, does Ake walk back in here? This man has...
I'll say this, and it's going to be pure praise. Knowing that Ake was still injured, there was, like I mentioned earlier, there's calmness with Akanji. I didn't when I saw the lineup, but I saw him there wasn't oh no, we're vulnerable. So that says a lot to how he played that role and to how he just fit in. And again, he made his debut in the Champions League. That's the funny thing.
And
we signed him, and his first start was Champions League. So
and look comfortable.
I can't say enough about him. Ake healthy. I think Ake's still there, just left-footed, more comfortable on that left side. That's the only thing. But to have an option between these two guys, we're blessed with wealth. We're blessed with wealth between these two guys. I want to also point out that every player, especially Akanji, were phenomenal when called upon. When it was a little the 50-50s, or he needs to go in on that tackle, or he needs to stand tall and be strong, he was there. There's a reason why Real Madrid didn't really have a sniff against us. They were resulting or relying on distance, shots from distance. Speaks to every man at that back line. And more importantly, if Akanji happens to have to play, because again, Pep makes the decision to say, you know what, Akanji, you played the way you played in that semifinal. Maybe we don't get enough matches for Ake to be up to speed. He's my brother through blood. I'm married Nigerian. Akanji's going to handle his thing. I'm not mad at if he's on that left-hand side.
It's hard. I'm sorry. I think if you board like that in a semi, you board like that in the Bayern game when Ake was injured, I think he plays the final. It's a big call. Unless something happens to touch wood to somebody in the back line, I think Akanji is loved in that back line. I think he's the only one that hasn't been dropped in big games in that back line. So I don't know. It's a difficult game. Man, even Ake, my brother Ake also would destroy whoever is playing. But Akanji is on form then now because Ake is injured. I don't know, man. We'll see. But there's games. There's Brentford before the semi-final, so before the final. So we'll see. Mr. Carl, you can go back to your.
Let's go. Stefano says, "I think Silva signs a new contract. He can't go elsewhere." That's my. I think the thing with Bernardo. I think Bernardo wants to go to Benfica. So I think let him see out his contract. Do 10 years. Give him a testimonial. Let him go to Benfica on a free. Now in the release, we can say, okay, you can only go to Benfica. You can't go to Barcelona or Paris or something like that. You can go to Benfica on a free, or else and that's the agreement. But let him go on a free. Going to want to another few more seasons and then move on. if these guys get that trophy, I mean, do they go out on a high? Do they?
That's the problem.
do
That's
it
the mental. That's the
again?
psyche. We don't know. We don't know what if we get these remaining 2 that we're after, right? Because or it's 3. Let me say we get these remaining 3 that we're after.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Veta. Veta, I see what you're doing.
But you know what? Let's go, Pep. Pep says, "Let me get 2 first." That's what
Yeah.
Pep says.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So, you know the
before you
funny
start
thing is
talking
that
about it.
Ilkay Gundogan is the captain of Man City, right?
And some people think he's not captain material. I saw this on
Ilkay
Twitter. I had to-
Gundogan has the opportunity to go to his country, his home, his country of origin, if you would, right? Turkey,
Mhm.
right? And do something. I mean, it's man, I'm just like so excited. It's incredible. I'm looking for tickets right now. I'm looking for tickets up and down the whole place. Clinical Jamaican says, I think that might have been Akanji's best game in a City shirt. I see why.
No,
Pep
really,
so
no,
much.
really. Arsenal isn't he the Arsenal or Ake was injured, one of them. Then he came
Yeah.
back. Ake played one Arsenal one, he played the other one. But the Bayern one, also the second leg, he locked up your man that side. Anyway,
I think the difference, Patrick, is that I think Akanji was so comfortable in this game yesterday. He didn't break sweat. He even got a goal. You know?
yeah,
Super-
yeah. I want to see. So somebody was saying it's his goal because he was going into the net. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to see that.
So Super
Yeah, go
when
ahead.
we beat Inter in a one-off game, I mean, seriously, if you beat Bayern,
Wait, he didn't get rewarded with the goal.
he did.
Oh,
I think
okay.
they did eventually. I think they were trying to say it's an odd goal.
Here's my answer to Super Silver, right? If City play to their level, nobody beats them. That's it. It's just it. And I've said this from day one. If they play to their level, game over.
Yeah, but we as City fans, we should stop tweeting saying Inter is easy work. We have to be
No,
respectful.
we're not saying, again, nobody's saying Inter is easy.
we
I
shouldn't
will
even
never
go
say
that
Inter is
far.
easy or they deserve to be in the final. What I'm saying to you, Patrick and Veda, is that if City play to their level, the level that they can play to, right? Player for player, nobody from Inter's team gets into their squad. Let's be clear. Not one person. Not Dzeko, not Lukaku, not Lautaro. They're good people, but none. If you play to your level and don't have a mentality block or Pep doesn't change something that he shouldn't change, it should be the Cities. That's it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. So there's another comment here. Go ahead.
Dan, the team who started Madrid deserves to start. I concur with that. I concur. I can't remember one thing Rodrigo did. He did nothing in both games, clinical. McLovin says, don't let us get Guardiola. Ake, Akanji, Guardiola, Diaz, Stones, Walker is a fine set of defenders to play 3 at the back. Yep. Great. Abdul says, congrats, Carl. Question. Hey, Abdul, here's my question to you. What position are Chelsea in? 15th? And this weekend, guess what? You get to give us a guard of honor.
And Carl, you know what, Carl? And you know what I love about on Sunday? We get to win it in front of a certain player that used to play for us.
Imagine
this.
Leave your man. Leave him. Let's leave that man rest.
No. Just one more time. I know Vida won't like this, but imagine not Forest beat Chelsea. Raheem Sterling has to line up at the Etihad and give a guard of honor to his former teammates.
That is Spain, but the S is silent. That is Spain, but the S is silent, so it's pain. Do you know what, Veta? This is what I was thinking. Brother Raheem, I wanted him to stay.
I wanted him to stay.
If this team wins the treble, Veta, how is our brother going to feel? He will sit there and say, why the hell did I leave now? Because he could have been useful. There's certain games I was like, Raheem could have been useful there. You could have been eating.
It's one of those things. This is where I've always been this way. You take the information that you have in front of you, you make that decision, you live by it. There can't be regrets because you make the decision in the moment. And we know that they were at an impasse, salary-wise, or again looking for committed play time. He was never going to get it. He made the decision at the hand. Had he known that they were going to do 4 managers through Chelsea, that or 3, something crazy like that, probably not. But every City player that's left this past year and they see what we've been doing, they all have to have regrets.
You know what
it's
it is,
gonna be tough.
Yeah, including
Sorry to
especially
cut you off.
another one, Cancelo also, Adam. Cancelo
You know what
has
it is?
been
You know that
Oh
saying?
man.
You know that saying, yeah? The grass is not greener. And it's the truth. Whenever a player has
Mm.
a City, the grass is not greener.
except Zeko,
Maybe,
except Zeko.
maybe except like certain players like Dzeko, we could say Sane.
Even with
Other than
Dzeko
that,
though,
yeah,
it's been a struggle. It hasn't been
It's been a
nice all
struggle for
these
Zeko,
past
isn't it?
years.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
struggle for Zeko. I remember he played a few teams and before he locked into
Roma,
Inter.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you wanna read these? So we move into the. Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
Before
yeah,
you
yeah, yes.
before
Because
no,
this is what-
read that one, then we
yeah.
go to
Wait,
this.
this is why Pep is the best. He can bring in Ake, Akanji, 55 million combined, and turns them into world level players. Respect, Stefano. Respect.
Okay, so guys, before we speak about the amazement the team can do, what about this man, guys? This man was like a choir master, standing up, telling the fans to continue making the noise, even when a player makes a tackle, when they get the ball off the opposition player. Pep was standing there. I've never seen him do this at Bayern, no at Barcelona.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've never seen this type of Pep where he's doing. Barcelona, he used to just sit down. At Bayern, he used to sit down.
I mean, to the point where Kevin had to tell him to shut up.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He did. Yeah. Adam Bader, go ahead. You guys go ahead.
I'll say this.
but you know, at that one, I was laughing my head off. Just seeing KDB telling him shut up, and then I was thinking to myself,
You know what?
It's an understanding, like a relationship. You know that relationship that you have, like with a friend, like friendly banter. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah, shoot. When you whether Patrick talks about when he's been playing, I'm sure the same thing happens. Although Carl's with younger players, but there's a point where you do want your players to give you that feedback. What was said between KDB and Pep? That's forgotten. That's like
it happens in basketball.
Happens all the time, right?
Yeah, people tell that there's two shit. Yeah, they tell the man.
And in all fairness, KDB could have released that ball to Grealish on the side and get a little relief. But this is the perfection that Pep wants. This is I'm gonna continue to get the best out of you for the 90 minutes, and I love to see it, and I love to see the fact that KDB was just as fired up. What we have to recognize, and we all know this, right? There's a reason why we all stay as a collective when we talk within the group chat. Pep's been at this club the longest, and it can't be ignored. The atmosphere, the winning culture, also the acceptance that we know the pursuit to winning is there. We're not arrogant. I'm not to say that Barcelona were, because at that time Pep was a lot younger of a manager and had that success and said, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna take a sabbatical. But it's been well documented that arrogance, entitlement, the maybe unrealistic standard over at the Bundesliga and Bayern, he wasn't going to remain there because it was Champions League and league, like that type of demand. And it's a cycle, it's a fight. The man still was mad productive. Over here at Manchester City, we were winning before, but we weren't consistent. He's brought that consistency. And again, I'm going to make it a point to also express we need to celebrate this consistency because it is not normal. It is not normal. It's not even a matter of, oh, we've got Pep, the quality of players that we have, even with regards to the board and Pep himself. This level of consistency is not normal. We need to celebrate it, and not to the point where it's then expected. Because when you get lazy and you just expect it, you're not in the moment anymore.
I was on a space today, Vader, this morning with you guys. Some clown, some guy, I think Phantom or something is his name, was talking.
Arsenal fan.
Yeah, about money and Pep. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was him.
It's a use cow. That's what I told the Inter fan more. I respect him, but I was like, we're not gonna do this today. We're not gonna start bringing money and oil. Like, just admit the team is great. And you know what? He was
Patrick.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Chelsea spent £600 million in the past 8 months.
What? Yeah.
Where are they right now? 15th or 12th?
12. We even forgot what number they are at this point.
What are you talking about here about money? Seriously. I mean, Akanji is 15 million. Alvarez is 14 million. Alvarez scores a beautiful goal against Thibaut Courtois. How does money have to do with that? That's coaching. Phil Foden's from the academy. Okay, Jack is 100, fair enough. But who else? Bernardo Silva, 30 million or 35 million? Seriously, Akanji's 15.
100%.
What are we talking about? United has spent more money than City. Where are they? Knocked out by Sevilla in the Europa League. 3-0 away. What are we talking about?
Facts. And even to go back real quick, because I see Blue Heart with that comment. He goes, the fact that Pep was feeling himself.
Wait. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's all good. Pep was feeling it, and he was conducting the crowd and the players. But I think Pep himself was in the moment celebrating the accomplishment.
Yeah, he was.
Celebrating the performance that he was getting from his players.
Yeah.
And it's infectious. I can't lie. Again, because it's daytime, the game kicks off at 3 p.m. my time. I make sure that I clear my work schedule so that I can properly enjoy it. But I'm watching the game alone. It's not like I'm going to a pub. It's not, but it's infectious what I'm watching, and they pan and they show Pep laser focused. They show the players. That was an absolutely fantastic day or night for some. And Pep, man, Pep was living for it because he hears all the chirping and talk.
Yeah, he does. He does. There's a comment here.
Comment says, McLovin says, Pep called these players sunflowers and nice guys in January. He wants to see bravado. Yeah. He called them happy flowers. That's what he called them. Happy flowers. The happy flowers team. I've used that, by the way, with my own team. I call them happy flowers when I'm messing up. Right? Brian K002 says, still think Grealish is not a winger. His creativity suits me. I agree with that.
Yeah, he does that. And when they told me, let's say there's just one more comment here. We bought this guy for 15 million. How much do you guys think he's worth now?
I think 60.
Yeah, 60.
Easy. Yeah, easy.
Easy. I mean, Arsenal buying Kivio for 55 or whatever they bought him. This guy's worth 60. Easy.
Yeah, I want to say. Sorry, Patrick. I want to say this real quick because I know image-wise, I don't know if he's in the mix, but. Ruben Diaz. Watch Ruben Diaz by like the 82nd minute. I've already rewatched the game. I had to go back and I rewatched it. Around the 82nd minute, Pep makes some of those subs. But watch Ruben Diaz as Real Madrid are trying to create an opportunity. They're coming down on us. Look how he's conducting the players. Watch how you can tell. You can't pick it up on screen, but you can see how he's barking out instructions. You go here, you cover here. Notice this threat. I know it doesn't show up on the stats like tackles and blocks and everything like that. But Ruben Diaz and that back line, master. He's a master conductor back there. He deserves that praise too because that whole defense, the defending and attacking, they're all a unit, and he's key to it.
I did say it. And I don't know if you guys remember. I said it, Adam, and I think Michael was arguing with me, saying Ruben Diaz is the one season one. Remember, Adam, when I saw him on the bench, I was like, Ruben Diaz is back. He's going to fix our defense. He brings leadership. And he was like, no. Yeah, and he was like, we need Laporte instead. I was like, no. I was like, listen to me. I admire Laporte, and I admire what he's done. I was like, but Ruben Diaz, the difference is he talks and he shouts at the players, high fives them, makes them to put their heads up. I was like, Stones and Laporte were a good duo, but guess what? Sometimes leadership lacked and they made mistakes because they couldn't talk to each other. Ruben Diaz came and that defense was fixed. And Pep, even Sam Lee said, Carl, that he heard Pep say in a match that Ruben fixed this. Why there's Laporte and Stones on that pitch? He says, fix this. He says there was a match where he said Ruben fixes, and Ruben was 23 years old that time. He just came to City. This guy is incredible. And right now, if you look at the Champions League, who's the best defender? Stones is not playing as a defender. Stones is going as a midfielder. If you read this, Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz is the best, and he's 26 years old now. My God, I don't know. I don't know whatever to say to this guy. I don't get it. It's just, do you remember? I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember when he came out of nowhere after we missed Koulibaly? And City did that boo-boo on their website. They say, Winnie Koulibaly shared number 26. We thought we were going to sign him, and things went down. And do you guys remember? I was on Twitter, but I didn't know you guys then. I think so. And I remember when he was signing, I did a video, a small video, but I took it off for Twitter that time. I just did it with my phone. But I remember he did a video interview where he wasn't smiling. He was so focused. And everybody was like, this guy looks like a psychopath. Where did we get this psychopath from? I don't know if you go to that interview, go search Ruben Diaz interview at Man City. You saw it, isn't it? No emotion. Even the pictures, no smile. Serious. He said, I am here to do my job to defend. That's what he said, Carl. And make players feel powerless makes me happy. He says, when I make a player, an attacker feel powerless.
He's not. The thing about Diaz is Diaz is changing right now. If you watch very close, when he first came, it was all about blocking and shot stopping and being there to tackles. But what with this new system, what Diaz is now a builder. So I always talk about the concept of we have two center backs playing. You have a builder and a blocker. A builder and a blocker. Builder, like Stones is the builder, Diaz is the blocker, right? At Barcelona, you had Piqué and you had Puyol, right? Puyol was a blocker, Piqué was a builder. You always have that builder-blocker combination, right? Which is why sometimes Stones and Laporte doesn't really work well because they're both builders, not blockers. You following me, right? Yeah. But this guy's a blocker. But what he's been able to do recently is combine. He's now beginning to build a play. If you notice, right, when Diaz gets the ball now in that back three, he sometimes will pause on the ball. He'll put the ball under his foot and pause for like 2 minutes. Now, one team that does this really, 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 really well is Brighton, right? Brighton's center backs all hold the ball under their foot for 2 or 3 seconds to delay. And the reason they do that is because they want the play to evolve in front of them. And then they make the right pass. Because that 2 or 3 seconds that you hold the ball under your foot on allows your teammates to get in position for you to make the right pass, which is why his passing errors has decreased significantly. And by the way, I teach my kids this all the time. I teach them this on Tuesday and Thursday about, as a center back, holding the ball for 2 seconds, let the play unfold, and then make the pass. Don't rush. So Diaz is beginning to do that. Against Arsenal, what Diaz was doing is that Diaz will hold the ball under his foot, wait for like 4 seconds, right, for Arsenal to jump. You hear this concept called jumping, right? We say Pep talks about jumping when they jump, right? The jump means let them start the press so that space gets created for them to make the right pass. He's beginning to do that. Brighton do it really, really well. That's why I want this game over and done with on Sunday against Chelsea. Batter Chelsea, get the league done, and let's enjoy the tactical battle between Brighton and City. Because that game will be a joy to watch.
It will be a joy to watch.
Oh,
so do you want to just read? Do you want to read the comments?
Pep wins. Other clubs and managers like Arteta, Potter, Conte, Jose spend so much to challenge for top 4 maximum. When Pep gets his players, he wins. They point fingers. 100%. Father Ruben, that says Daniel. Father Ruben says Daniel. Next comment.
Yeah, it's starting. What?
Marco says, yesterday our badge got heavier when I stepped outside. I got a lot of respectful nods from people got to respect, man. People who love the game, when they watch that, they just show respect. And that's all we can talk about. Respect.
They did. What's his Thierry Henry said, I'm a fan of Arsenal, but you have to be somebody foolish or something not to support and admire this City team.
There are some Chelsea friends of mine who became Madrid fans yesterday. Now they're Inter fans now.
Even Arsenal fans were shameless. A few Arsenal fans were very shameless yesterday. I don't know why it involved them. They're not even in the Champions League.
Listen, hey, even United fans are being shameless. Some of them on Twitter, they're changing their profile pictures to Inter Milan or something.
It's fear. It's all fear. It's just pure fear. Blue Heart says, weird, isn't it how there is no stat for the influence some players have on their own team? Ruben has improved us so much since his return. He has, Blue Heart. Next slide. Next slide. Next comment. McLaughlin says, let's be clear. I think that's called artificial transition. That's what De Zerbi does and Pep has. Yes. Correct. That's great. Artificial transition. That's a word now we've learned now. Wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, so good. now my brothers and sisters, boys and girls, let's rewind to the beginning of the season. This team almost made me lose hope. This team was doing some madness, and you're like, what's going on? Is there something going on? Have they lost faith in Pep Guardiola? There was a point in time where Pep had to discipline some of the players, bench big names like KDB, and start playing kids. Funny enough, when he played those kids or players that he thinks he trusts, the team was still winning, carrying points.
Mhm.
When he plays the big boys, they were drawing or losing. We have gone through so much. FFP in January, they tried to ruin us when they saw us. We say put in a winning run. People started saying Pep is finished, saying Pep has to go. This City team is done. Maybe they're not good enough, as good as they would. There was a small team from London called Arsenal that has won a lot of FA Cups at the top. They were 10 points clear, 11 points clear, I repeat,
11.
ladies and gentlemen, in January.
Incredible.
I sat in my room and I came out from the shower after. Sometimes when I'm in the shower, I put podcasts and listen to podcasts. I was listening to
Me too.
Talksport. Talksport, they speak rubbish, but sometimes they speak sense. And I like some people that there's a bit of balance. Sometimes when they want to speak serious, they speak serious. Somebody asked the question on Talksport that do you think maybe these guys, as the same as Liverpool, they are tired of carrying our league? That's what he said. They're tired of carrying this league. Now they're like, what else can we win? Then somebody said, but they have the Champions League. Why don't they put their focus there or sit down as a group and say, we know we messed up against Madrid, but we're going to have to make it better? I seriously think this team was heartbroken by Madrid. It had nothing to do with the World Cup, Veda. That's what I'm feeling. I think that Madrid game stung them. They started questioning themselves and say, is it worth going again? We keep being kicked out of the Champions League in a weird way. Are we cursed? I'm pretty sure somebody thought about it in this group. You know what I mean?
If I may just add to that point, Pep's press conference said after the Madrid game that they were really down. He said we had to drink. He said we had to drink our poison. That's what he said, right? That tells you their mindset. He now said that when the draw came out and he saw Madrid, he was like, "Yes, I want this." Many City fans are like, "Oh no, it's Madrid, it's Bayern Munich." He said, "No, I want this." Which kind of tells you the mentality of the belief that they have in themselves, that they want to right the wrong of what happened last year. Now, imagine for whatever purpose, imagine that we have been on the other side of the draw with Benfica and AC Milan, right? Imagine if we've been there, we got to the final. You can't talk with chest, right? You can't talk with chest. You can't. If you win the Champions League right now, you've knocked out Bayern Munich, knocked out the Real Madrid.
No. You're starting wrong. RB Leipzig, Bayern Munich, Madrid,
Dortmund.
Do you remember what they said, Dortmund? Do you remember what they told us that if City ever go through winning the Champions League, beating dead teams, nobody will respect us. Right now, we beaten Bayern Munich and Madrid, who are European giants. Leipzig was great, a great team. Dortmund was a great team. So are we gonna get that respect? But anyway, I don't like what I wanted to say is this team I think has gone through a lot for them to mature to be here. Because what I'm hearing is Veta, when they used to speak during Champions League, they used to say, we'll see what we can do. These guys are saying it with chest. We're here for revenge and to prove that we can do it. Walker said, we let the organization down in Istanbul against Chelsea. We let the fans down. We let ourselves down, and we let Pep down. And we're going to get a revenge for ourselves.
Yeah, and it's sometimes you got to embrace the pain. You got to embrace the past. You got to recognize the memory because you get strength from it. The way that semifinal played out, every player to a man was disappointed. Every player looked in the mirror and be like, what could I have done differently? What did I not do? Right? Whether it's reflecting back on what they were doing in training or what they had to execute in that game. The mentality, I think Pep this entire season, he's been challenging these players. He's been looking them directly in their eyes and see who's up for it. And as a result, maybe the players that he's let go, transfer window, he's let go off of loan is because of those things. I want a collective of players that are going to be on the same page mentally. And I think when you have a disappointment like that, they were ready to right the wrong and to point out we let the club down, we let the fans down, or we let the organization down. They were ready to prove it. And Pep saying all of those opponents in front of us, yes, I want that. I don't want to I'm glad we're on this side of the bracket.
Yeah. He says you have to defeat the king to win the Champions League.
And then it's also something that's properly earned and there's no speculation about it. There's no what ifs. There's no had it been. Nah, you go through these opponents to then have to get the crown. It's the proper test because we were that
It's more
close.
worth it, isn't it? It's more worth it.
It's more worth it, and it's the recognition in terms of what you just accomplished.
Yeah,
Man, that's like Mount Everest.
It is.
That's not just a simple mountain you're climbing. That's one of the top. And Real Madrid. And let me say this: it's not just the win. I said this on a couple shows back, but it's how you play.
Yeah.
How you
Right?
play.
It's how you play. That's what's important because we didn't just get the win. It's how we played it, the dominant style of play that we executed. That's why these guys are
Yeah,
so
you don't want to hear it. Oh, but they got lucky. They were outplayed, but they just got lucky and had moments. That's not good. So Clinical says I've already started hearing how boring our football is again. I don't listen to them, man. This team, they have a huge opportunity to make history. They do. I'm trying to explain. That's why United fans are not happy. They're not happy because they know what's coming. Do you know what's made me laugh this morning, Carl?
Yeah.
Liverpool fans have decided to jump on the City train. I've seen a Liverpool
really?
fans tweet, big accounts tweet, say, you know what? I actually want City to win the treble. I actually want City to win the UCL so we can shoot United and United be relevant for a while. So people, even Arsenal fans, have saying this morning, say, you know what? I actually want City to win the treble. They say Madrid were terrible. Yeah, there was, but because we made them look terrible. It was complete domination and masterclass. That's true. Don't listen to that. I don't even want to hear the excuses that Madrid are old. I don't. Hello, citizens. How you doing, Emmanuel?
It's not our fault if they are old, man.
It's not your fault. Yeah, last year, why didn't you say that the old people beat us? You didn't say that. You said heritage. Sometimes losing a battle gives you the knowledge, but knowledge you need on how to win the war. Last season, we learned the Madrid result. We took the pain and turned it into a gain. Wow, bars there. Hi, citizens. How you doing, Emmanuel? Guys, as I said yesterday on HH's channel, in Africa, they say knowledge can build a garden. You know what I mean? Knowledge can build a garden. That's what they say in Africa. But also, the whole world knows what goes around comes around. It's not an African saying. So basically, Madrid were talking too much, saying City, you were saying you're the best team. The Madrid players, they talked in the press, Madrid players, all they do is do tiki-taka, but they don't do anything. Or they just pass the ball around. Rudiger said they passed the ball around and another thread. So what? The thread came to you. Rudiger came on. As soon as Rudiger came on, let me just speak on these three individuals before I go. Mahrez and Foden and Alvarez, I can tell you something. The only reason why they are not played is because Foden, Mahrez, and Alvarez sometimes they dribble at risk, and then they can risk somebody taking the ball away from them. But I'm telling you, if Pep wanted to kill Madrid more than he did, at 60th minute when it was 3-0, he could have thrown in Mahrez and Alvarez together at the same time and told them attack. I'm telling you, it was going to be long because look at them. They just came on 2 minutes. Mahrez controls the ball, dribbles past somebody, gives Foden what a pass, Alvarez finish. Yeah. End of story. Good night, goodbye, go to sleep. Ancelotti's eyebrow went down for the first time in years. It went down for the first time in years. Madrid is I gotta run like a minute, so. I also gotta run. But guys, thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to Veda Games. Let me just close this so you can be able to see the handles. Subscribe to Veda Games. I have the names here. Veda Games TV on YouTube. Subscribe right now when you're done. Support my brother. Ever since I met this guy, I like this guy, what he does. We always bounce off each other, all of us. And also subscribe to Pitch Points, who's abandoned his channel. What a shame. This man has abandoned his channel. But also right now as we speak, Pitch Points is live. Adam, subscribe to Adam so you can hear him fighting with rival fans on Twitter. He still owes me a wheelbarrow, and he still owes us.
If I go to Istanbul, you see me on my channel.
Yeah. And Adam has to apologize. Adam has to give us an official apology to Mahrez. I don't want the one he did. I want an official one because Mahrez has helped us. Anyway, thank you very much, People Points, man. All the best. Thank you very much for the games. Thank you very much, Adam. Guys, please.
And good luck to West Ham. Good luck to West Ham.
Good luck to West Ham. And stop being cocky, guys, with this Inter thing. Give Inter the respect they deserve. We know we're the better team, but it's 11v11. The game starts 0-0. It doesn't start 5-0. Let's be careful. As Pep said, let me win 2 before I talk about the third one. Thank you very much. I appreciate all you guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the vid. We're on 2,170 at the moment, or 75. Let's get to 3K by the end of the year so Adam can buy me a wheelbarrow. Thank you very much, guys. As always, most of you guys says I always leave you without a bit of music. So I'm going to leave you with a bit of music, guys. As always, we'll leave you with a bit of music. Thank you very much. As I say, like the vid, subscribe. But let's leave you with a bit of African music.